All right, if you're watching this video, then you should be at this point with your graph. You should have two labeled axes, X and Y, X being area, Y being mass. You should have a title, and you should have 8 points plotted. If you're not to this point, you need to back up and finish whatever you haven't done yet, and then come back when you're ready. The first thing that we're going to do is draw what's called a best fit line. Our points are not going to be perfectly plotted, and that's because we're human and there's some error that comes into it, and we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But in order to find the best fit line, basically what we're looking for is sort of an average. And I'm going to show you a really easy way to do that. Now, if you did your graph on a sheet of notebook paper or unlined paper, you want to have these grid lines, the blue grid lines that we have on graph paper. And you can draw those in easily enough with a ruler or a straight edge and a pencil. Just draw them really lightly on your graph. The first thing that we're going to do is I want to find the shallowest line that I can draw with a slope. So basically, the flatter a line is horizontally, the shallower the slope is. So I want to find a line that goes just under the edge of where I've plotted my points. I'm going to start at 0, 0, and I'm going to place my ruler to where it just covers the farthest point to the bottom. That's this point right here. And really lightly, I'm going to draw in a line with my pencil. Just barely there. Now I want to find the steepest slope. So the farther upright it is, the steeper the slope is. So again, starting at 0, 0. And I want to come just to the top edge of all these dots, not cover anything up, and that's right about there. So again, real lightly, just draw that line in with my pencil. Now our best fit is going to be sort of an average of these two lines. So I want to find a line that goes right in between those two that I just drew. So I'm going to come out here to the very edge, and I'm going to find a spot that's roughly halfway in between, as close to halfway in between as I can. And I'm going to take my ruler one more time. Now I'm going to draw this with a felt tip pen. You can certainly do it still with a pencil. Just make sure that it's nice and dark so that it stands out. Anything that you can do to make this line stand out is good. And there's my best fit line. That's the line that's kind of the average of all of our pieces. Notice that a couple of them fall right on the line, a couple of our dots are above, and then some are below. Okay, so it's a good average. Now I want to find the slope of our line. And in order to find slope, you need 2 points. The slope of a line is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.